you're able to fight those giants in your head, cast them out, take them out of your head, and say, oh, wow, this is doable. I can do this. Courage is something that I think you practice. So I felt I had to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something. You can't just sit there and think.
Hola, and welcome to the interview series Dare to Start. My name is Alina, and for 30 days, I am talking to brave women and men who dare to start. Maybe it was a business, a project, or a dream that felt very scary at first. And the goal is to show you that whenever you reach a big goal, it's because you took a very small first step. So today I am extremely excited to introduce you to Elizabeth, who I know for a few months and I've really been impressed with the way how she handles herself and the great business that she has. So Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a
Abs-
pleasure and an honor to be here.
Thank you. So let's just get to it. Could you please give us a quick introduction about yourself?
Well, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I came to Tampa when I was 17. And I studied both in Tampa and in Puerto Rico. And eventually, I earned my bachelor degree from UNICEF and a Juris Doctor degree from Stetson University College of Law. Um, and I have dedicated most of my career really uh, in coaching nonprofits and churches and everything that they need to learn how to do the business and how to run it, how to get funding, etc. I
Amazing.
also sing. I also sing professionally because it's also one of my passions. So during the day I help people find answers, and at night I feed their souls.
I love it. I love it. Yes. And I'm actually going to share her social media accounts here at the end so you can go and check out her music. Her voice is beautiful. Amazing. So let's talk about ERD Consulting, your business. Just tell us about, you mentioned it briefly, just give us an idea of what it is and what's the type of help that you give.
So ERD consulting came about as a call to action because after the pandemic of 2020, I was left with no contracts, nothing, no work, nothing at all. So I had to rethink what I was doing, where am I going from here on, and it was a very, very difficult process. But then I decided, wait a minute, I need to start my own business formally so that I can just go ahead and do some type of what I had. The idea that I had in mind was to do eventually a capacity building institute for nonprofits and churches. And so I developed ERD consulting to coach the nonprofits to continue the work that I was doing, but maybe put it out there more. So I started thinking about doing videos in YouTube with small capsules of information. I also uh, decided to put all my tools available online, and I'm still working on that. It's a work in process, but I'm getting there. So
Amazing.
that's what I did.
Amazing. But I know that for you to start ERD consulting, it just didn't happen overnight. You mentioned that that's something that you were doing before. So tell us basically the beginning. How did you come up with the idea? There was just like a specific moment you said, yes, I'm going to do this. How was the beginning?
Well, at first I went ahead and incorporated my business because, I do this for other people. Why not do it for myself? Then it dawned on me, wait a minute, I need to do this. So I did this and I left it there. I wasn't doing much with it because I had become stuck. And it felt that I was in this deep hole that kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and I, for some reason, I couldn't get out of it. And this is very unlike my character, because I've always been a yes, let's do it. Let's not stop until the last no ever, and just let's go, go, go. And this time I went, and I kept getting doors shut in my face. And then that does something to you, because it works in your self-esteem. It starts making you question your abilities, your callings, your desires. What are you doing? What are you doing wrong? Am I doing something? Am I not doing anything? I mean, it's a battleground in your mind. So you need to work with these giants that are living in your head, bombarding you constantly. So I kept thinking, praying, whining. One day I said, wait a minute, you need to stop it. So I did. And I continued to pray and trying to get some kind of guidance, because I tried so many things and nothing worked. So one day I came across this webinar that was offered at the Women's Center. Mm-hmm. And it was called The Unstuck Entrepreneur. And I said, that's exactly what I need. So I signed up. I went to the webinar, and it was like a big light came on. I said, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. Because I've done webinars before. And to tell you the truth, these webinars where people are getting pumped up all the time, and yes, I'm gonna go, and everybody screams and claps and oh yes, we're gonna do this. That's not real. That's not what you need. It never prospers, in my opinion. You need something that is real, down to earth. You need the truth. And when I read and went through all of these things that were being taught, I said, wow, this is real. This is realistic, down to earth. This is the truth. Not cliches. It's not what everybody's always saying or what you read in books. And I was able to relate and apply that to what I needed at the moment. And so from there on, I started applying all the material. It was a lot of material. It was very good practical material. And then I took this other course that was even further helping me, and it kind of got me out of that hole and starting to get somewhere. And it's not a magic wand where my problem is solved. I'm from A to Z in like 1 minute. No, it's a step by step, day to day, task by task process where eventually you will get there. But in the process, you get encouraged. You're able to fight those giants in your head, cast them out, take them out of your head, and say, oh, wow, this is doable. I can do this. And you take baby steps, one task at a time, and eventually you're there. So at this moment, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm very, very close. And I'm getting there. So I can say I'm unstuck.
I love it. I love it. And honestly, hearing you talk, well, by the way, the courses that she's talking about are the ones that I teach. And just listening to you, I was just thinking about all these nights where I also myself felt stuck. And that's why I created the AAA system. And all this night that I was working on it, and then hearing you say all these things, which we didn't even know each other at that moment. But now hearing you say all these things and seeing you the progress, I still remember like the first few phone calls that we had, and you were like hesitant. And then the last time that I saw you, in person you were just like, oh yes, this here and there, and just your level of confidence has gone through the roof. So I appreciate your words. I appreciate the time that you have put into it, because that's also, this is your result because you put in the work. So, Elizabeth, throughout all this process, we're here all about learning, right? So, if
Yeah.
there is one key lesson that you want to
Wow.
highlight from your whole journey, what would it be?
Well, uh, courage is something that I think you practice. So I felt I had lost courage. And I kept asking, why? How do I get this courage? Because courage is really what kind of pushes you to do things, right? And I felt I had lost that. And then I said, wait, I must act upon in order to exercise my courage, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do have courage. It just, I thought I lost it, but it was because I wasn't using it. And I was listening to all these voices in my head that were just putting me down. And they were kind of making me handicapped to move, like I couldn't get out. So out, get out, do, move, do, do. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something. You can't just sit there and think, because things are not going to get done. You're not going to get the courage by not stepping out. See, courage is something that you need to, I guess, do in order to exhibit it, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was the theme throughout my whole last part of my being stuck.
Yeah, having that courage. There is a very, I don't know who said this quote, but it says something like, clarity doesn't come from thoughts, come from action. So
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about doing, and again, I'm really impressed by you, because it was literally like, we're like, oh, we're gonna go to this event, okay, let's go. Or, oh, we're gonna do this class in another place, okay, we go. You also were invited to tour on your, you had a media tour for your singing, and you actually went out and did it physically. So I know that because of COVID, we are confined in these screens, and now this becomes our safe space. But it's also, whenever we are in those moments of stuckness, literally physically moving and going out to different places could be a great way to start getting that courage. Now you are one of a kind, because again, I'm interviewing 30 people that I know myself that I think they are brave, and I know that you're one of them. So you mentioned you just need to have courage in order to start kind of getting on the flow again. But for everybody that is watching this, that perhaps COVID was not the best experience for them, and then since then they have been kind of feeling stuck, how you expressed that you were, and now you had this courage to start acting. What advice, what one thing would you give them to kind of activate that courage and dare to start their thing?
So I mentioned earlier that we have all these giants in our minds, so to speak. And the mind, it's a battleground. It really is. And that's where you fight your strongest battles.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to stop listening to those negative thoughts that are in your head. Those are not coming from a good place. You need to replace every single one of those thoughts with another thought that it's encouraging. And so, because that's your battleground, you must fight like a medieval knight, those big giants like Don Quixote,
Yeah.
with good thoughts, with encouraging thoughts, with action. So do, move, go, do, just do. too. Because yes, I did, on top of being soft, I became confined to my home, to my room, and it came out to where and it's very out of character for me, where I wouldn't want to go places and be with people, and even felt uncomfortable being with people. That is so not me. I was always the social butterfly. I was always the one out there on the spotlight and everything, and all of a sudden I'm nobody. And so, no, that must never happen. We must conquer these thoughts. We must conquer these giants like Don Quixote and the windmills. We have to. We have no
Absolutely.
option.
Absolutely. And I think something else that like you and I have in common, it's our relationship with God. Because I think that's something else that it's the biggest thing. My When I was stuck, I think he was the biggest reminder of, hey, stop worrying and just start trusting, and like just the praying and the being willing to walk his walk, at least in my case, has been a very comforting way to start again. Because just like you, starting again from a different place. I always had the career or the agency, and now I'm just launching Women Who Market as a school. So for me, it's also a starting that also feels scary, but I feel like this time is different just because like God is right there, like he's like the biggest cheerleader on my side.
Definitely. That's exactly how I feel too. Without God, I couldn't think good thoughts. I couldn't replace those bad thoughts with good thoughts because I trust God. I read the Bible, and the Bible is full of good thoughts to replace those bad thoughts with. So, yeah,
100%.
that's a big part.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I wanna thank you for being brave to start again. I wanna thank you for being vulnerable and telling us your experience here. I know that people want to connect with you because they want to hear your music, but they also want to know more about how you can help them with their nonprofits and churches. So how can they connect with you?
So, I have an email address. It's romandelgadoelizabeth at gmail.com.
Perfect.
And you can reach me via email. I'm also on Facebook. I also have a fan page on Facebook. And I have Instagram, though I don't understand it very much, but I do have Instagram and Facebook under Elizabeth Roman Delgado.
Perfect. So we'll pull all the information here so that people
Yeah.
can connect with you. And also, if this inspires you to start your business or to move forward after not a great COVID experience, here at Women Who Market, we're doing the Dare to Start challenge. So, what it is that you tell us your thing, and then we'll send you mini marketing lessons with a homework so that you learn a little bit of the science and art that is marketing, and then you apply it with the goal is to help you get to the point where you feel ready to start and you feel ready to give that first step, because for some people it's easy to do, for others it takes a little bit more time. So that's why we create the challenge. So the link here is below. Once again, Elizabeth, thank you so much for your time, for joining, and for everybody watching. I'll see you in the next interview.
Thank you.